Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and today we are going to be talking about whether or not you should buy a Wii U. That's right, a Wii U. This little guy right here, well, this is part of it, in 2018, almost 2019. And the simple answer is maybe. Maybe. Let's talk about the pros and cons of both. So, let's start with the pros. It was released in 2012, and I believe around November 2012. That was when I first started going to college. Yay, college for Steven, woo. Um, and it was the first ever console to be released with an HDMI cable, a Nintendo branded HDMI cable, keep in mind that. Um, However, the console also did have AVI connections. Although, kind of a con to that is when I first bought the Wii U, I did not have an HDTV in 2012. Some people still don't have HDTVs, so it was a good option to give that in there. But the problem was because the quality was meant for HD and not an AVI, an older TV, tube TV. The quality was crap, and most of the time you couldn't even read anything trying to play a game. So not in favor of the Wii U in that regards. Another excellent favor is that it is backwards compatible, meaning that you have access to about around 1,200 Wii games. I think it's 1,267 to be exact. The Wii U actual game roster list kind of sucked. In the US, I believe we only got 99 games. I don't remember or not if it's region locked. If it isn't region locked, then you get like 157 games. But 99 games for a console that was out for like what 5 years? I think it was only around, yeah, it was 5 years because the Switch came out last year in 2017, I believe. Um, but still, 100 games over 5 years is really bad. There wasn't any real third party support, so pretty much every game Nintendo was releasing for the Wii U was basically a Nintendo exclusive game. Most of them were single player. There wasn't really a lot of family oriented options for the Wii U, which is also why I think it was kind of a commercial failure, was because you had the original Wii, which everybody was like, yeah, let's get 4 Wiimotes, and then we can all do Wii Sports, Wii Play, Wii Music, Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Mario Party, all these games that were, yes, specifically to Nintendo, but at the same time, they were a lot more family oriented, a lot more multiplayer oriented. Unlike the Wii U, where the bulk of it is single player because you're on this tablet by yourself for most of the games, like Breath of the Wild, Zelda, Mario Kart. Yes, there's online capability. Super Smash Brothers, same with online. You can have people playing, but most of it was more single player. Donkey Kong, like Mario scroller games, Mario Maker. That was also that was actually a commercial hit. Mario Maker was a great game. They need to make a port of that for the Switch. Would be cool. Same with Splatoon, even though they have Splatoon 2, maybe make the original on there. We got Bayonetta. That was one of the coolest games for the Wii U. We got Bayonetta 2. It was a Wii U exclusive, and the original dual pack came with the first game as well. The only problem with that is if you didn't pre-order the friggin' thing, it is like still $50 brand new, even though the Wii U has been basically discontinued for like 2 years at this point. Year, 2 years, somewhere around there. We'll say 2 years. But plus side, I know I keep coughing because my throat is super dry because I keep talking so much, and I think I'm getting sick. Another reason the Wii U was a commercial failure was because everybody thought for $250 this was the only thing you're getting. Most people did not realize, because of the way they named it, they didn't completely change up the name, that it was a different console. Everyone just thought it was an add-on to the original Wii, which did not help at all. They didn't really I feel like they didn't have a lot of advertising for it, just thinking back on it. It wasn't a whole lot of advertising. It is kind of cool, though. I like the idea of having a kind of a portable type thing. But most of the time, I mean, I can't even get more than 40 feet from this thing without it crapping out, which isn't really a bad thing because I got my own TV and it can use the big screen anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's basically was what I think they wanted the Switch to initially be, but couldn't figure out the whole technology docking aspect stuff first. Another issue that a lot of people had with it is if you kept the Wii U tablet controller, you actually have to have this for the most part to get into a lot of games, from what I've been told. Even some games, if you're not using you're not using this controller, using like a Pro controller or a Wiimote, the tablet has to be on anyway. And this thing, once the battery dies, you can dock it and whatever. But that was also another issue was if you take it didn't hold a charge. The way they had the battery is if you took it off the console and say you left it on your bed or ground for whatever for a couple hours and come back, the battery would still drain and go to zero, and you'd basically be SOL. Excuse me. You'd basically be SOL and have to wait to charge your gamepad again, which kind of sucked. It didn't come with a traditional controller, which it probably should have, because not a lot of people actually liked playing on the tablet. It is comfortable in the hands. I have this nice rubber case on it, so it makes it a little bit more comfortable in the hands. But it does. It feels like a big bulky thing, and it's kind of weird, like a weird tablet-y type deal. At least with a Switch now, you can pop off like the sides of it and then have it like be an actual controller. It would have been a good idea, but the problem was Nintendo was thinking about doing that initially, from what I've heard. But because they were already losing money every time they sold a console, they thought they were going to make it up at the games, which, haha, that did not happen. Oh, I just turned my tablet on, my Wii U controller on. But, yeah, there goes the game system. But because they were losing money on every console, I thought they were going to make it back in the games, and they did not, because they only sold the whooping 99 games, as I said before. But, I mean, if you want to buy one today used and you get it for around $100, it's kind of a great idea, because you get every single Wii game you ever want, which range at this point. There are some rarer ones that go for to like $100 roughly, but your average Wii game you can get from $5 to $20, and same with the Wii U, you can get a game from $5 to $20. So it's a good cheap alternative to having all those Nintendo exclusive games. You still currently have online capability for the Wii U, and Nintendo hasn't shut that off yet. But yeah, would it be a good choice to get one in 2018? I personally say yes, if you get it used and maybe you get some games with it, some controllers with it. Another cool aspect of the Wii U was every single controller you could use for the Wii, you could also use for the Wii U. Initially, there was not, like, what do they call it, GameCube? There wasn't, like, a spot for GameCube controllers, but they made an adapter for it for Smash Brothers specifically, but those controllers also work with other games. You also had the Wiimote, the Nunchuck, the Wii Pro Controller, the Wii Pro Controller Plus, I think it was called, or Advanced, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the Wii U Pro Controller itself. So controller options, if you go into the back of one of those games, you're just sitting there like, ooh, I got like 7 different options here. Whatever controller fits my my little personality, la-di-da. But yeah, as I said, you find a used one, go for it. You find a new one, don't even bother, because they're probably still selling for $200 new in the store, because they couldn't really get them off the shelves. I know personally at my local Walmart, when I was working there initially, back when I was in college and obviously needed a job, whatever, we couldn't. What did I sell? Like 3 of them, and I think there's still one sitting on the shelf there. And yeah, I don't think we ever really burned through. I think we got maybe 3 to 5 shipments of them, and I think we never burnt through the 5th shipment. I'm pretty confident there's still one sitting there waiting to be sold, and they marked it down to $200. But let's be honest, no one's going to buy that unless they put $100 on it. It is what it is. I mean, you got the cool amiibo support too, which is pretty nice. But other than that, don't buy a new one. If you can find the Zelda limited edition one for a decent price, that is going to be worth good money one day, so buy that. Games that are going to be worth money for the Wii U are probably Super Smash Bros., Mario Kart, Mario Party, Zelda. I think there was a limited edition Breath of the Wild one. There was also a Twilight Princess remake with an amiibo in it. That would be a good idea to buy. Let's see, Mario Maker, the original one with the book in it. Let's see, what was there? Pokken Tournament would probably be a good idea to pick up. Bayonetta, the combo pack, as I said, if you can find that. Xenoblade Chronicles, there's a limited edition for that too. What else is there? I'm thinking. I don't know, but as I said, decent. I like the games. The Nintendo exclusives really good. Oh, Wonderful 101. That really won't be worth much, but and Splatoon, those are 2 good games. I think Pikmin 3 was on there too. So good variety of Nintendo games. Let's put it that way. If you like Nintendo, you like Nintendo games specifically, because the third-party support is non-existent. If you want third-party support, just go buy a shit ton of Wii games, because there was a crap ton of third-party support. You had like Naruto and Bleach and Dragon Ball Z and all that other crazy shit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Buy a Wii U in 2018. I vote yes. Buy a Wii U. Do I have a Switch yet? Is probably what you're asking. The answer to that is no, because I knew with all the problems they had with the original one, they were going to update it and make like a slim or something with a better display or something. So I'm waiting for that 2019, and I will probably buy a Switch, and maybe I will stream games or something. We'll try to do that. But my name is Steve Gray. Like, subscribe, comment down below if you want. Turn on that notification bell so you know when I'm making new videos. Have a good one.